Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome, my dear student, in our new episode in Knowledge Bank. I will be with you in the general revision for the second term. أهلا بيكم طلبة وطالبات الصف الأول الثانوي في مراجعة على منهج الترم الثاني. إن شاء الله إحنا عندنا 2 units هيكون فيهم الإكزام last exam. عندنا 17 question, 10 question choose and 7 question write small comment. The mark from question number 1 to question number 14, each question with 1 mark, and question 15, 16, and 17, 2 marks. Let's start with some question. Choose the correct answer. In lack of dominance case, the ratio of the second generation from the copulations of the two individuals different in one opposite trait is. Here, lack of dominance here, the combinations between two antirrhinium plants with two different, like white and red. When white antirrhinium crossed with red, it will producing pink, a new trait. Here, the ratio will be 1 to 1. Of course, this ratio will be in the second generation. Second question, when a man of blood group AB marries a woman of blood group O, the ratio of the children which have a blood group O here, when you look to the genotype of AB, blood group will be AB, and the genotype of O will be OO. When you cross OO with AB, never producing individual with O, mean the ratio here is 0%. O blood group cannot produce from this cross. Third question. Gene is an example on recessive lethal gene. Gene is an example on a recessive lethal gene. What's meant here by lethal gene? Lethal gene here, this gene causing this. We have 2 types of lethal gene. Dominant lethal gene and recessive lethal gene. Here we have 4 choice. Yellow car of mice, here dominant lethal gene, not recessive. Infantile demonata, this is a recessive lethal gene. This is a correct answer. Bulldog race in cow, this is also a dominant lethal gene. Mean the correct answer here will be infantile demonata. The recessive here will death by ratio 25%, as we studied before. Fourth question, the karyotype of normal females. Do you know normal females cell is 44 plus XX, 44 plus XY, 44 plus X0, 44 plus XXY. Of course, normal female will be 44 plus XX. We studied before the karyotype of the female containing XX, asymmetric 6 chromosomes, but the male containing XY. Okay? But number C and number D is abnormal cases. We talk here about normal female. Fifth question. Down syndrome in males is caused by fertilization of ovum X plus 22 with sperm. Do you know Down syndrome is abnormal cases? Abnormal cases mean the number of chromosomes here is not normal. The mistake here in autosome. not in the sex chromosome, especially pair number 21. Pair number 21 here increasing 1. When ovum 22 plus X join with sperm, the sperm here must be 23 plus Y to producing male, XY producing male, but 23 plus 22 here producing 45 chromosomes. 45 chromosomes here abnormal, because the normal number of autosome must be 44, not 45. The total number of the chromosome here will be 47. This is abnormal because the normal number of chromosome is 46. You study before the abnormal of Down syndrome suffering from somatic abnormal cases, such as the face, the shape of the face, the small ears, small fingers, short toes, neck is short, oval shaped, the head is flat, retardation mental and physical, abnormal because increasing just one chromosome in the autosomes. Question number 6. Who put modern classification system? We have Robert Brown, Aristotle. Do you know Aristotle here? Not scientist, it's a philosopher. Charles Darwin, Robert Whittaker. Here, the first person who made modern classification, Robert Whittaker. We studied before, we have some scientists talk about classification. The first one, Aristotle. Aristotle here, not scientist. Aristotle classified the living organism into red blood animal and bloodless animal. But Robert Whittaker, the first one who make a classification of the most of the living organism. He classified the living organism into 5 kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Planta, and Animalia. He classified most of the living organism. We still some living organisms not in the classification. The common one is virus. Virus not found in classification until now. Question number 7. Are prokaryotes which live in extreme environmental conditions? What means by prokaryotic? I would like to speak about prokaryotic here. Prokaryotics, this is the kind of the cell has no true nucleus. True nucleus here has no nuclear membrane, has no nucleus, and the chromosome here not thread. The opposite of prokaryotics is eukaryotics. Eukaryotics, the living organism which containing cell has a true nucleus. As we study the first term, we draw the plant cell and animal cell. All this will be eukaryotics. But prokaryotics here has no true nucleus. The chromosomal not thread, just a mass found in the cytoplasm. احنا بنسميها يا ولادي بروكاريوتكس غير حقيقية النواة، لأنها لا تحتوي على غلاف للنواة. لكن اللي بتحتوي على غلاف للنواة هي بنسميها eukaryotics. The living organism which related to prokaryotic here will be a bacteria. This is a common example. Bacteria. We have 2 examples here for bacteria: eukaryotic, eubacteria, and archaeobacteria. Which one of them live in the extreme environmental condition? What's meant by extreme environmental condition? ظروف غير طبيعية زي إيه؟ live in salt environment, maybe live in a less oxygen environment, very hot environment. We find this type of bacteria live in the extreme environmental condition. Of course here the answer will be archaeobacteria. Archaeobacteria here, this type of bacteria live in the extreme environmental condition. We call it archaeobacteria. But eubacteria found in front of you everywhere, inside or outside the living organism. Here the difference, very important, between eubacteria and archaeobacteria. Eubacteria found everywhere, you remember, everywhere, inside or outside the living organism. But archaeobacteria, this time, live in the extreme environmental condition. احنا بنسميها يا ولادي البكتيريا القديمة، بتعيش في ظروف غير طبيعية. Question number 8. Moves by using pseudopodia. Pseudopodia here بنسميها بالعربي الأقدام الكاذبة. The living organism that move by pseudopodia here, of course, amoeba. We have amoeba, trypanosoma, plasmodium, and paramecium. Let's talk about amoeba. Amoeba, protozoa, living organism. Unicellular, that means its body contains one cell, containing a nucleus, containing food vacuoles and contractile vacuoles. The type of locomotion here, pseudopodia. Pseudopodia here, this part of the protoplasm. هنا يا ولادي البروتوبلازم هو اللي بيتحرك، فبالتالي دي بنسميها الأقدام الكاذبة، لأن أي جزء من البروتوبلازم ممكن ينشأ عنه هذه الأقدام، عشان كده أنا بسميها pseudopodia، ودي بتميز الأميبا. يبقى الأميبا the type of locomotion here طريقة الحركة عن طريق pseudopodia. Pseudopodia here, the part of the protoplasm can change or can use it for movement. Okay? Question number 9. It is from unicellular ascomycota. Do you know ascomycota here? Ascomycota, this is a class, this is a phylum of kingdom fungi. Kingdom fungi has 3 phylum: Ascomycota, Basidiomycota, and Zygomycota. Here, Ascomycota, we have 2 examples for Ascomycota as we studied. We have Penicillium and Rhizopus nigricans. Rhizopus nigricans here, bread mold, عفن الخبز. The third one, mushroom, and the last one, yeast fungus. Yeast fungus here is unicellular microorganism. Unicellular, Penicillium, multicellular, Rhizopus nigricans, multicellular, mushroom, also multicellular. The one is unicellular, and related to Ascomycota here is yeast fungus. But Penicillium, Ascomycota also, but related, but multicellular. Do you know what is the difference between unicellular and multicellular? Unicellular living organism containing one cell, but multicellular, its body consists of many cells. Question 10. Okay. Beans belong to crustacean, insects, arachnida, merboda. Do you know beans? Beans here belong to class called insecta. أنا عايزة أتكلم معاكم عن the difference of insecta and arachnida. When you look to the picture, you will see B. B here related to insects. Insecta, its body consists of three main parts: head, thorax, and abdomen. When you look to the abdomen, you will see the abdomen is segmented. Segmented مين يا ولادي؟ حلقات، عبارة عن مجموعة من الحلقات. يبقى هنا البودي divided into three main parts: head, thorax, and abdomen. Let's talk about the head. Head here containing eyes, complex eyes, and antenna. And the thorax here producing from the thorax three pair of jointed legs. Three pair of jointed legs produced from thorax. And also the wing. Some insects containing one pair of legs, one pair of wings, and another containing two pair of wings. The abdomen, as you see, is segmented, عبارة عن حلقات. This is the insect, the main characteristics of the insect. Insects respire by tracheals. Respire by tracheals. Let's start with a question needed comment. Here we have 7 questions. Write comment. Four question, write small comment, and 3 question, write more than comment. Let's start with question number 11. What happens if a female of lion and male tiger interbreeding cross? A female lion here, a species. Lion here, a species. Tiger is another species. What happens if the two species connect or crossed, interbreed together? Do you think this is normal? It will producing tigons. Tigons are formed. Tigon here incapable to make reproductions, because tigon here not species, because it comes out from two different species. Two different species here producing living organism, sterile, cannot make reproductions. This is a picture of the tigon. When you look to the picture, you will see the body, its body like a tiger, and its head like a lion, because it comes out from two different species. The number of chromosomes here different from lion and tiger. This living organism cannot make reproductions, sterile. Give reason. Duck-billed platypus belong to subclass Protoceria. When you look to this duck, when you look to this duck, we know the duck related to birds, but this duck is different, related to mammals. Why? This dog related to mammals and have a special subclass called Protoceria. What is the main characteristics of this dog? This dog don't give birth, but laying eggs as any dog. Its babies feeding on the milk secreted from mammary glands. Mammary glands here, that mean this dog related to the mammals. If the living organism suckling their young, milk by mammary gland. We put the living organism in mammalia. Mammalia mean this is all living organism in this suckling their young milk. But this kind of duck lay eggs. For that we put this kind of dog in subclass especially called Protocelia. The mammary gland found in the abdomen of the mother and has also a clavicle opening. Clavicle opening here, this is the opening in the end of the abdomen, get rid of wastes through it, and also eggs emerge. البطة دي يا ولادي تعتبر حلقة متوسطة ما بين البيردز والمامals، لأن هي containing some characters from birds lay eggs and other characters lay suckling their young milk. فهي تعتبر كائن متميز، حلقة متوسطة intermediated link between birds and mammals. It's very important example, duck-billed platypus. What happens if Plasmodium parasites phases reach to the human blood? Plasmodium, we studied Plasmodium before. Plasmodium related to kingdom Protista. Plasmodium is protozoa and causing disease. If this parasite reaching the blood of the person, it will causing malaria disease. The common name in Africa, by the way, the Plasmodium causing malaria disease. 14. Give reason. Dolphins are mammals, although they live in water. Do you know dolphins live in water, but not fish? Related to mammals. Why dolphin related to mammals? Because they feeding their babies. Because they're feeding their babies with milk secreted from mammary gland. Do you remember? Mammals, mammary glands. Mammary gland here suckling their baby's milk. And also, although he live in water, it respired by lungs, atmospheric air, like whales. Whales and dolphin, the same, live in water and respire by lungs, oxygen of the air, and birth and suckling their young milk by mammary gland. The opposite figure showing a frog. To which class that related? Frog related to class Amphibia. Mention the importance of its skin. Its skin is moist for breathing the atmospheric air. Must be moist. Do you think the frog related to cold blood animal or warm blood animal? Cold blood animal, its body temperature change according to the environment. But the warm blood animal is constant temperature. Of course, frog related to cold blood animal, its body temperature change according to the environment. For that, the frog make hibernations, hiding in winter, to protect its body from cold temperature. Question here about blood group. Complete the previous table and mention the group. Which blood group? Antigen A, antibody A, and antibody B here. We see agglutinations in the anti-A. That means the blood group here will be A. The second one, agglutinations, will be in B. That means the blood group will be. Here, agglutination with two A and B antibodies. Here, the blood group will be AB. When no agglutinations, will be the blood group O. Which blood group has both type of antigen? Of course, containing two antigen here, blood group AB. Contain antigen A and antigen B. Which blood group has both type of antibody? All groups. Last question. The following table illustrating the generation resulting from breeding of the two sweet pea plants. What is the genotype? When you look to the figure in front of you, must get the gamete. The gamete here will be A capital, B small. And here will be A capital, B capital. Here will be A capital, A small. When you get the gamete, you can get the individual. The first individual here come from the first gamete, and the second gamete will be A capital, B capital, B capital. When we get the third one, we'll get this gamete with this gamete will be A capital, B capital, B small. And this gamete, this individual come from this gamete and this gamete, A capital, A small, B capital, B capital. And the fourth one will be A capital, A small, B capital, B small. Find the genotype of the parent here. The genotype here will be, for this gametes will be A capital, A small, B capital, B small, to producing 4 gametes. And the second one, A capital, B capital, B small. This is the last of our episode today. Thank you for attention. I will meet you again next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.